Good morning, Leeds United fans. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor here. We are back with something fresh to talk about when it comes to the club. Obviously, Leeds United winning last night against Nottingham Forest, a 2-0 victory in a compelling performance, I would say. A performance that, I was really happy with. I still think, discrepancies within the performance, but some real positives as well. So the lineup came out, as we all know, before we start the videos as well, everybody. It's a bit raw, this, because I'm in the car. So, yeah, make sure you're liking the video, make sure you're subscribing as always, and all that good stuff. We might do something tonight on the channel as well as a bit of a live stream. If you fancy that, make sure you stay tuned to One Leeds, and we'll be discussing the developments of today, really. But, yeah, we've not really spoken about last night. So, Leeds started, and I was pretty vocal, as per usual, on social media sites, saying that I wasn't that enamoured with the squad. I wasn't that enamoured, obviously, with the age of the squad in terms of, where is the experience here? Look at the bench. The bench was just full of children, and then you throw in our experienced, the players that were out of that side, and maybe only Harrison increases that average age, obviously, but Somerville and Drame, it's a very similar sort of thing, it's young players. So, yeah, I was looking at the bench and thinking, it's a massive, massive sign that we still need huge recruitment. I know you guys will be bored of me saying this, but we've got to stay on this mantra. We've got to stay on this understanding that this squad needs developments. A friendly game is all about fitness. You see the intricacies of what the new boss wants to do, of course you do, but ultimately it's all about fitness. It really is. And I'm not going to take a win against Nottingham Forest and apply that to the first game of the season against Cardiff. I think that's a sensible way of doing it. I do, however, as I've mentioned before, think that there are positives and negatives to take out of that performance, and overall conclusions, what Leeds United need. Now, evidently we're building up from the back. And what I did like was the constant ball that Illan Mele was trying to play to Ethan Ampadu. Ethan Ampadu, I thought, was just outstanding. And the reason I'm taking this as conclusive and final is because he should not be playing football at championship level. He shouldn't. Excuse me. And we said this on the channel at the start. I was really shocked that Leeds got him. Really, really shocked. I did not expect him to come to Leeds. I actually thought it would be more of a Palace move, a West Ham move. I did not expect him to be at Leeds. So the fact that he's playing at Leeds, I was actually slightly worried in that game. I thought, can he be sold in the same window? But he's that good. He is that good, and I thought he was excellent, but you saw a bit of a style of play when he was getting the ball, and immediately he's able to open his body up, and he's able to use his left and his right foot. And why that's important is because he doesn't have to take a couple of touches all the time. So what Leeds are doing is they're splitting the centre-backs, and Ethan Ampadu's getting the ball very similar to what Calvin Phillips did in the 4-1-4-1, and he's able to pass it off really, really quickly to either full-back or one of the centre-backs who's split. So, yeah, you can easily tell there that he's almost playing the Tom Tribal role, the Alex Tete role, where he's building up from deep and trying to get Leeds moving. When I'm talking about Norwich City, there's a comparative there, which I know a lot of people do. So Ampadu, fantastic. I thought Cooper was immense. I thought Cresswell did really well, one of his better games. Byron was all right, as I say, as a rotation option. I do not want to see him starting for Leeds United. He's a right-footed left-back. I'm sick of seeing this. We've had Berardi, we've had Dallas there. We need to have a fully fledged left-footed left-back, a natural player who can open his body up, isn't going to be closed coming inside on his right foot all the time. And I think you still see that with Byram. Naturally, because he's right-footed, he's continuously using his right foot on the left flank when he's building up. When he's charging down the wing, he's constantly looking at cutting inside, and his left foot isn't strong enough for him to be capable on that left-hand side. So I don't want to see him there. I want to see a fully fledged left-back. So, yeah, right side, obviously we had Ayling in the first half, fine. You guys know I'm all about Cody Drame getting his chance this year, but Ayling, yeah, looked okay. In possession, I still think when we're building up quickly. I think sometimes you'd see this under Bielsa as well. Ayling prefers to be further up the pitch instead of part of the build-up. I think he's better in that role. And you could see that, I think, with the 1-2 touch stuff, he's a little bit slack, to be honest. I think he's always been like that. I think, when you get Luke Ayling in those advanced positions, or under Bielsa anyway, you got him in those advanced positions, and that's where you'd see him really thrive, combining with the central midfielder. But when he's building up, I think sometimes it can be a bit slack and he can lose possession. And that's where he utilises a lot of the Ayling flop, because he can get himself in trouble, in my opinion, in possession, but through build-up. So Yeah, central midfield was obviously a little interesting. Shackleton is never going to work in this Leeds United side. It's never going to work. For me, he's just a Duracell bunny. Yeah, he runs a lot. I can run a lot. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to be a footballer for Leeds United, does it? Him and Gelhardt are problematic for me. I was having a discussion with this guy on Twitter last night, and a couple of my mates who were in a Leeds group chat. A lot of them season ticket holders, and we're having this chat, and they're of the same opinion. They were at the game as well. I don't really see what Shackleton brings in terms of anything apart from just running around. Gelhardt, I don't think he's a 10. I don't think he's a 10, and he's not doing enough to make that number 10 his own. And you can see Farke's trying to give him chance after chance after chance. And I thought before the game, you're looking at Cooper, you're looking at Cresswell, you're looking probably at Gelhardt and Shackleton and thinking they're the positions that are under threat. You know, you need to prove something tonight. And I thought that's what Farke was doing. Byram as well, actually. Byram as well. Maybe not Cooper, but Byram, Cresswell, Shackleton and Gelhardt, they were the vulnerable positions last night. And I thought Farke was saying, right, go on, deliver. Show me what you've got. So, yeah, Shackleton for me shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be there. I don't think, and I'm not gonna just get too excited off the back of a win and say that he's going to be Championship Player of the season because he's been part of a Leeds win over Nottingham Forest. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's at this level, to be honest. And I think Gelhardt's struggling to make any position at Leeds his own. So that's one that I'd be looking at, either transferring out those two or loaning. I think we're seeing in pre-season where that just isn't working. Positives though, James thought was good. Some good deliveries into the box. Is that going to be consistent? We'll have to wait and see. We know what Dan James's final product can be like over a period of time. However, I thought he was good last night. I thought he's been reasonably good in the friendlies as well. Not a starter, but definitely a 20-minute option. JB in the second half, once again, better than the last game, but still you can see he's not, a lot of people are saying, start JB, start JB. He's not, I still don't think he's near it yet. He's not near it, and he's a kid. He's a kid, and this is what I'm saying, like, it's all well and good getting excited and carried away with the Forest result, but you've got to look at some of the individual performances from some of the youngsters who are going to take time to adapt to this. This is going to be a 50-plus game season. There needs to be experience in there. There needs to be quality who's done it previously in the Championship, whether it be score goals, get assists, command midfield, dominant at the back. You've got to help these youngsters and put a flurry of quality in there. I think JB's seen a little bit of inconsistency there, which is naturally what you get from a young player. So I think that's going to be him throughout the season. Him as a replacement for someone is going to be good, but I don't think as a starter. Archie Gray probably similarly, to be honest with you. Poveda, thought he was really good when he came on. Obviously he's been at Blackpool, been at Blackburn, but I was impressed by him. Took his goal well. Who else have we got in that side? Cine, obviously class above the rest. We all know that, and I'm just praying that September the 6th transfer window deadline ends very, very quickly. Obviously we need to still bring players in, but I'm really worried about him. If he puts in 2 or 3 good performances in a Premier League club, gets an injury to a winger, or is looking at a winger and is seeing that City's playing regularly and doing well, they're going to come in for him. He's just too good. I saw someone on Twitter saying he could be the best player ever to play in the Championship. That's true. I genuinely believe that he could be the best ever player in the Championship. He's that good. You don't get many £25 million plus players in the Championship anyway. Who've previously been of that value, who've gone down. Not built themselves up and then been transferred, i.e. Emi Buendia. But yeah, so City was brilliant again. Bamford, he got his goal, but we know he's not good enough. I mean, he's just nowhere near it for me. He's nowhere near it, and we're going to struggle. And I think, it's blunt. He scored a goal yesterday, obviously it was handed to him on a plate. A little bit of controversy with the celebration, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough for Leeds United at the minute, and I'd be a little bit worried if we've got no competition in for him at the start of the season. I'd be looking at the 49ers and thinking, what are you doing, lads? You've got problem situations here. You haven't got a central attacking midfielder, and you're starting with Bamford again. I honestly don't believe there's a Premier League side that takes Patrick Bamford. I think you'd be struggling to see a team in the top 6, top 8 in the Championship take Patrick Bamford. Maybe top 6, and I'm being deadly serious there. You look at some of the strikers in that predicted top 6, which you're seeing at the minute. Would he get in any of those sides? I don't think he would. As in the starting number 9. I do not think he's clinical. He's not ruthless. I think his touch is sluggish. I don't think he's quick off the turn. I don't think he's quick in general. listen, as I always say, I'm sure he's a nice lad. It's not a personal attack, but he's nowhere near good enough. And you have a little bit of a potent attacker, someone who does the things that Bamford doesn't do. And I think this attack, this offensive, sort of like setup for Leeds United really, really profits. But unfortunately, he's gonna be a bit of a crux on this attacking lineup. And you could see it yesterday, just in the first 20 to 25 minutes, some of the build-up play, Worrell was able to just sort of marshal him out the game really easily, I thought. Because he was switching sides, centre-back wides. I noticed that Worrell was doing that. And yeah, he's almost like following Bamford around. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I love this word, but synergy, cohesion, there's better out there than Patrick Bamford. And if you want to go up from the Championship, you have to have better than Patrick Bamford. You really do, in all aspects. And I think someone else would link this attack and the midfield really nicely, and would have, you know, the element of maybe surprise as well, which is what we need at the minute. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're going to be back with the stream later on. Really interested to see your thoughts on everything that went on last night with regards to Leeds United. Are you thinking we need depth? Are you thinking we're ready for the season? Do you think Patrick Bamford should be the number 9? Do you think Dan James should start? Is Gelhardt the answer to the central attacking midfield option? Let us know, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.